okay, and that IPL is a bad influence on Indian and world cricket. Today, Mr. Bishan Singh Bedi stands justified, and I think that we should pay tribute to his persistent and courageous, consistent stand on this issue. Number one. Number two, now as you raise this question, can Mr. Meyyappan accuse Indian society of being corrupt and therefore he's corrupt? The line he's taking is that Vindu Dara Singh forced him into match fixing and betting and whatever he did.
Yeah.
You see? So, today, right now, everybody who is trapped is pointing fingers at other people, okay? And as far as Mr. Doshi's comment that the board has done a lot of good for cricket and that it has rewarded the players, he is right about that. But the issue today is not about rewarding the players. The issue today is, why is the BCCI not able to control this monster which they created? And are they not therefore culpable and responsible for whatever is happening among cricketers and cricket officials? That's the question I'd like to pose to your panel.
And I want to also ask you, Mr. Doshi, you keep mentioning about grassroots cricket and grassroots cricket.
Yeah.
May I ask you, what good is IPL doing for grassroots cricket? You make the argument here today, one second, about a young child. Mr. Ranjit Kumar, you make an argument about a young child, whose parent is putting them through cricket. Have you asked yourself, Mr. Doshi, how cheated that young child and his parent feels today? Have you asked yourself how cheated those people feel today? That you have a bunch of fixers. No, you have a bunch of fixers who get away, and you have a bunch of punters who have powerful networks. I don't mind my saying so, Mr. Doshi, but how can you as a legend of Indian cricket, take a position which if allowed to get away will compromise the fundamentals of the game, Mr. Doshi?
I want to explain to you. No. May I just say to you, first of all, I don't agree that IPL is a monster. I think IPL has become a monster the way it is perceived. I agree that T20 cricket is also a wonderful kind of tournament because it brings a lot of other things in the game which the traditional game hasn't brought. It has to be played in very small proportions. It should not be overplayed. But the point is, you were talking about the corruption that has crept into the game, and that is what I was referring to.
No, I am not making general comments. No, I am not making general comments. Mr. Doshi,
as a business.
Mr. Doshi, on this channel, I'll tell you one thing. There are other channels in India which make general observations about general things. I am not in the business of generalities. I never have been. My point is very simple. Do you believe that Srinivasan should understand that when his son-in-law is arrested for punting / fixing / whatever, that it is high time that he takes a moral responsibility? Or do you believe it doesn't matter? Just why, Mr. Doshi, of all the things that you're willing to say openly on so many things,
let me tell
why don't you answer specifically on Srinivasan? Why don't you talk about Gurunath Meyyappan? Why don't you know? Why don't you?
I'm answering you straight.
No, I want you to be very direct on that. Then I'll get a response. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Srinivasan himself should have to decide with his conscience, and if he is clear with his conscience, he hasn't done anything wrong. He has just hold on a second.
Mr. Bhimani,
he has a right to stay on.
Mr. Bhimani,
that's up to him.
Mr.
I don't think it is. It is no point in advising him. I don't want to advise anybody who should do what.
You should have asked Mr. Kasab if his conscience tells him that he has committed a crime or not. We should ask all the people. We should ask Kalmandi, ask his conscience. Don't ask the court. Don't ask the people whom he has cheated. Let's ask his conscience. I don't think it matters one bit what Srinivasan's conscience says. The fact is he has disgraced cricket. His son-in-law, who is deeply involved, is regarded as an enthusiast. He has told the whole country, the cricket-loving people of this country, that all he is an enthusiast. He is not. He is involved in the game, and as a moral thing, Caesar's wife, it's Raman, the country of Ram and Sita. Please remember, public perception matters, and he should step down from his tin pot throne.
Please. This is entirely up to an individual.
And Mr. Doshi, just to be a little bit more direct with you, why should I care as a cricket fan how much help the BCCI has given former Indian greats. I mean, good for all the Indian greats. If the BCCI has done a lot, one second. I respect. No, I'm sorry. It's good for Indian greats. If they have done great things, if they have given contributions, if they have supported them financially, great. But will the same Indian greats have the courage? Those greats who have been kept happy with the BCCI, will they have the courage today to speak against the BCCI? Or does the BCCI expect an act of reciprocity? That on the one hand, we will be nice to the greats in the hope that at the time of crisis, when we are under question, they will not question us.
I think I don't agree with you there, Arnab. I do believe that there is a lot of visionary people around in the cricket board as well. I know that they have got a lot to improve upon as well. But it's very easy to be critical like this. They have got some professional appointed people like CEOs as well. Why only the president or somebody should answer? Why the others?
Because the president's son is in jail. Because the president's son is in jail. And Mr. Doshi, I have great respect for you. But I don't think you are seeing, you're missing the wood for the trees tonight. Or you're choosing to do that. I have great respect, but you're not, because the president's son is in jail. No. I want to ask you tonight, Mr. Doshi, tell me once in the history of Indian cricket. Give me one example in the history of Indian cricket. I challenge you tonight, Dilip Doshi. One example which is more embarrassing than this one. One example. And we'll debate that. Give me one example. More embarrassing than this one.
Let me tell you, in different contexts, a lot of things have happened, and let us not go back into that. I was trying to stress on a different point. I think you have not understood it properly. That's the reason why I wanted to explain to you when I said that the cricket has to be played at any level.
Dilip Doshi, Dilip Doshi, I have Bishan Singh Bedi now on the phone. 1 second. I have Bishan Singh Bedi now on the phone. Now, I have not seen two former Indian cricketers take two such contrary positions. I have some of our panelists tonight who are holding their head in their hands while you're speaking, because I think a lot of people are feeling let down by the position that you're taking, Mr. Doshi. Bishan Singh Bedi, are you here?
Yeah.
Bishan Singh Bedi, I have former cricketer Dilip Doshi here today, and he came on the channel right after you spoke.
No.
He says, Mr. Doshi says, Mr. Bishan Singh Bedi, that he heard you and he disagrees with you, what you say. Right?
Well, he's entitled to.
Yeah, but I want him to tell you why. I want him to tell you why he disagrees and he's disappointed with, and then I want you to respond. No, one minute. Mr. Bedi,
listen. Arnab, listen. My name is not Srinivasan. I agree. I'm not going to force people to agree with me.
I agree. I know you're not. I just lost the line there with Mr. Doshi in the meantime, it appears. But Mr. Bishan Singh Bedi, the question is this. Mr. Dilip Doshi says BCCI has done a lot of good for several cricketers. They've done a lot of good. We should not be castigating them overnight.
No, hang on. I'm not saying BCCI has not done a lot of good in the past. They have. We are only talking about the present situation created by the IPL. You know? And if somebody suggests, all right, now hang on, if somebody suggests that because the BCCI has helped the former cricketers, given them one-time kind of a benefit, now do you want me to believe that the past cricketers may not have earned that one-time benefit? And let me assure you that decision was taken by the working committee of the BCCI.
I agree with
Nothing to do with the governing council of IPL.
I agree with you. Mr. Bedi, Mr. Bedi, after listening to both of you tonight, I just want to put one point of view to our viewers. I'm glad you came back on the phone. I want to ask every Newshour viewer tonight. Bishan Singh Bedi is one of the only legends of Indian cricket to come out and speak openly. Do you think it is right? And that's my final question to you, not just to you, Mr. Bishan Singh Bedi, to all our viewers. Do you think it is time for the other legends of Indian cricket, the great cricketers, those who pay for the IPL, those who don't, those who are associated, those who are not associated? Is it time for Anil Kumble, Sachin Tendulkar, Javagal Srinath, all the greats, Rahul Dravid, all the greats to collectively come and address this issue? Is it time or not? What do you think, Kishore Bhimani?
Rahul Dravid said something today.
Well, he said...
Rahul Dravid's newspaper today
I think they will...
Rahul Dravid said, today in the newspaper it has come that he said that the game must go on, but that it should be cleansed of all the bad doings.
Has any of these players taken a position on Srinivasan?
Today in the newspaper.
Has any of these players taken a position on Srinivasan?
Sorry?
Has any of these players taken a position on Srinivasan?
I don't know whether they were asked about it.
Has any of them? No. Has any of them? What got their tongue? What got their tongue?
When he says that the bad things should be cleaned.
Why are all of them quiet as the game of cricket seems to be infested with the worst kind of criminality we have seen?
Should be cleaned.
That's all right. That's broad generalities.
Bad should be clean can be talking about his laundry.
No.
That's right, Mr. Bhimani. Don't laugh it off, Mr. Ranjit Kumar.
I mean, if there's no question of bad to be clean, you come out and say Srinivasan must go. I'd like to hear some cricketer saying that.
We haven't heard one. I don't think we will. Gulu, what do you think?
Well, Arnab, if pigs could fly, well, maybe then we could expect cricketers to speak out, particularly current cricketers. And I don't think that's going to happen very soon, to be honest. It didn't happen in 2000 when match fixing first hit Indian cricket and world cricket. Not a single senior player came out and took a stand and made a bold statement.
Not one.
So I think, not one. I think we're expecting a bit too much of them.
Well,
and when you have exceptions like Bishan, I think that they should be held up as glowing examples.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Bedi, thanks for coming back. That question goes out. Do all the cricketers have a conscience strong enough and a spine stern enough to come out and speak? And if they don't, will 10 years from now, 20 years from now, the same great cricketers be able to answer their own conscience?